All right, cool. Well, welcome back to the Coaching Life Podcast. Again, this is a show that is actually a conversation, just a conversation. Today it's going to be between three guys, but what we like to do here is just dig into the stories, the lessons, the relationships that shape who we are as coaches, as players, as parents of people who play sports, and just as people in general, and that's kind of what our podcast is about. And today, we are very excited. For those of you who are watching our podcast, you can see we have a third person in the frame, and our special guest today is a good friend of mine named Delaney Crawford, also known as DC.
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll refer to him in his initials as well. Delaney's a wide receiver at Ohio University for the Bobcats football team, and his story is a really good example of one of perseverance and resilience and patience, and we're going to get into that here in just a minute. I mean, those are a lot of things that we'd like to talk about here, and you have a lot of lessons through your testimony that are going to be really valuable to a lot of the people who listen to our podcast that are in athletics and playing, and maybe in high school, or have children that are playing. And so I'm really excited about it. But getting in a little bit of DC's background here, he was actually recruited to play out of high school to play quarterback at University of Virginia.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So he made that transition to wide receiver somewhere at the end of that time in Virginia and moving on here to Ohio University. I'll let you talk about that. But let's go back to high school. Grew up in California.
Yep.
Went to Corona High School.
Yeah, so I played football at Corona High School and also ran track at Upland High School. So
Yeah. I got a track stat for you in just a second. A memorable moment, and I'm going to show my research skills here, and you can confirm or deny this. A memorable moment for you in a high school football game in 2021 was you threw a 45-yard touchdown pass as the time expired to win the game 35-30 over, sir. I can't remember the name of the school was.
Vista Del Lago.
Vista Del, yeah. So that's correct?
Yeah.
Awesome moment, wasn't it?
Man, felt good.
Yeah. So that might be the answer to your last question that we asked you today, right? And we'll get to there as well. But also, you said track. In addition to football, he's a multi-sport athlete, ran track. DC was a standout in the state of California, but one number that I saw was you were one of the top hurdlers in the nation your senior year. Your time of 36.64 seconds in the 300-meter hurdles was the best in California and ranked in the top 5 in the nation.
Yes, sir. I was actually number 1 in the country when I first ran that at one point. Just blessed.
So it's no wonder your dad said you're a wide receiver.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Speaking of his dad, so his dad went to Ohio University. He's a Bobcat, and he holds records here. Remind me what records your father holds.
So he has the receiving record on a kickoff return of 8 yards. So
that's the number
record.
of yards.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Nice. What's your dad's name again?
Keith Crawford.
Keith, yeah. Good deal.
Middle name is Delaney Crawford. That's how I got my name.
Got it. So our conversation today is going to be a little bit about Delaney's journey. We'll talk about the recruiting process and things that are interesting to our listeners as well. But also the dynamics that go into play when you change positions, when you transfer schools, and just how what kinds of positive and negative things you've experienced through that whole process. So let's welcome my friend Delaney Crawford here.
Yeah, nice to have you, Delaney.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
I'm interested right off the bat. You said you played football and ran track at 2 different high schools.
Yeah.
Give me that story.
Yeah, so it's kind of a little cool story. So I've been running like track all my life, and so I originally was at my freshman year. I was at a school at Awanda High School, and I played football there. And then I transferred to Upland to go play football and run track. But the track coaches that were at Upland were my youth track coaches that I had basically my whole life. So I went there, was running track. I remember I was on JV my sophomore year, and then I ended up playing one game varsity as a quarterback over there, but really just wasn't playing there. And then my junior year, I believe that was the COVID year, so Yeah, like our games had got cut short.
Yep.
But it was still like, you know, fighting for their starting spot. And like I said, I'm still running track over there. And I remember I was doing really good at track. I was blowing up as a sophomore year and like as a freshman over there at Upland. But my goal was I wanted to play football. But I just run track just like for the speed because that does translate to the field and stuff like that. So I remember I ended up didn't get the starting job for quarterback there, and I remember like my dad said, "Well, like we're just gonna say like we're just gonna chill out for football here, and we're gonna end up transferring." And I remember he told me, he was like, "Next year about this time, like you're gonna be signed." And because I was kind of down about it, you know, you're just trying to keep my spirits up and stuff like that. And I remember like one day I was walking because I was still running track there. I just stepped away from football with the team over there, and I remember I was walking. I saw the team lifting and practicing because we had to lift outside because of COVID. Yeah. I just remember like someone just way
to make it work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just remember I was just walking, going to track practice. My old teammates saw me. I remember someone like just like yelled out, "Quitter."
Oh man.
Yeah. So like I took that to the heart, but I ain't let it faze me. Just one of those things like just like kept it in my head, you know, just keep pushing. Told my pops about it, and that's when he told me like next year around this time you'll be signed. Went over there, had an amazing year. My junior year at Upland, I remember it was a track meet at Arcadia, and we were doing the shuttle hurdle relay, and we ended up breaking the California record in the shuttle hurdles stuff, me and my teammates and stuff like that. So we could till this day we can still call ourselves the fastest in California at that event. So did my thing there, and we didn't have a state that year, I believe, because of COVID. So I was pretty like mad about that because I wanted to go in and stuff like that. And our team actually, we had like the last two people that were doing the 300 hurdles won state and stuff like that. So I wanted to be like the next one up to finish the legacy. And so did that, and I ended up transferring to Corona High School. And then that's when I had a successful year, and I went to a school that was like, I think they were like 0-11, yada yada. And then my first game playing, I went and got them their first win.
Nice.
Yeah. So I ended up I was getting like smaller schools like Morgan State, Missouri State, Sam Houston, and then that's when Virginia got the big one. Virginia at the end of the season, really after that game winner I had, and then got it. No brainer, knew I wanted to commit. Yeah, that's basically how like the track and that stuff happened.
Interesting story. So you did you run track at Corona then your senior year?
No, my bad. I left that out. So after that, after the football season, I transferred back to Upland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, are you running track at one school?
Yeah,
playing at another?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I transferred back to Upland.
For the track success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that's when I ended up having the other track success. So I won state in the 300 hurdles. I was number one in the country with the 36.64. And, man, just blessed. So
is there any, in California, is there any transfer rules as far as that goes?
Yeah, I know it was a type of transfer rule, but I remember like I qualified for it because I forgot why. I think it was just because it was two different sports, honestly.
Well, there could be a distinction there.
Yeah.
From state to state, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you get to college, you go to Virginia, and you're across the country. Mm-hmm. You're there in the fall of 21.
20, I believe.
Did you graduate?
I graduated 2022.
22?
Yep.
Okay, so fall 22. You went in as a quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So, but now you're a wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
Tell us how that happened.
Yeah, so went in, got there my freshman year. Was kind of excited because I didn't really have like my parents there to tell me what to do no more and stuff like that. That's common for a lot of college students. Yeah, for sure. So went there my freshman year, and it really for me, and just me keeping it real, I was just there, just like having fun. I feel like I wasn't really there, like really focused on ball, because like I'm just at like a big school, you know, a lot of money there and a lot of partying and stuff like that. So just went there, and I redshirted my first year, and I didn't play no games, but I was in my freshman year. Oh yeah, my freshman year. So I made it like to the travel squad, and that's when like they kind of had like they saw like how athletic I was, because I would kill it on the scout team as a quarterback, and they like I remember my coach would ask me like, hey, have you ever thought about playing receiver? And I was like, not really. Everybody's really like said it like my whole life. And then I remember like one of my high school games, I know like Colorado was at our game, and my coach was trying to get them like to offer me, but he was like he didn't want me as a quarterback, but he told my coach he could make a lot of money at receiver. So like I always hear like that voice in my head from time to time, yada yada. But I still didn't want to like.
That's a recruiting tool now.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money.
Yeah,
in college.
For sure. Yeah, just went to Virginia, and then they had got me like involved as a kick returner. So I remember I was like the number 2 on like kick returner coming out the
Kick
whole
returner
year.
and backup quarterback.
Yeah. For sure.
Interesting combination.
Yeah, and then I would also be at like some days I would also be like at the receiver meetings instead of the quarterback meetings, and then sometimes I would warm up with the quarterbacks. Some days I would warm up with the receivers, you know, and just really just trying to like learn, because if I really kind of do is they kind of have me like playing like a lot of positions and stuff like that. So, yeah, going through my freshman year, that was a plan. That's really how my freshman year went and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And so I mean, obviously that can't be easy. I mean, you know, because one, you want to play quarterback, and you want to play here at Virginia, and then you know, so a coach will come and plant a seed in your mind about that, and it probably makes you feel like, well, he obviously doesn't want me to play quarterback, right? What is it? And so, did you start thinking about hitting the transfer portal right in that? I mean, what brought you to Ohio? I guess kind of as you keep progressing through the story.
Yeah. So with that, I'll say so boom, like I said, my first year, and then fast forward to my sophomore year there. This was a spring ball, and going into spring ball, you know, I'm playing. Then I had a situation where I was out, and then also I had got surgery. I believe it was my sophomore year. I had got surgery on my hip, and so I was out with that. And then like a month later, I had to get surgery on my head because I had like cysts growing around my head and stuff like that. Didn't know why. And I was like really in like a depressed state because of it, because like everything was like kind of like going bad and stuff like that. So yeah, I come off of that, and I remember like this was like fall camp where like I had like got back cleared and stuff like that. I had like threw a pass and it got like intercepted like our first scrimmage, and like I was really down about it, and like my head coach saw, and at lunch like he came up to me and he was like what's up, like what's going on. And he was a really cool coach too. Like he could talk to me like when he knew when I was down and stuff. And I said, Coach, I just don't have like, I feel like I'm not myself anymore at like quarterback, because like I said, I was also not practicing for like 4 months and stuff like that. And he asked me like, what you want to do? I was like, I feel like it's time for me like to fully switch to receiver and stuff. And then next day I just switched, and now like I'm getting developed because I'm new to it. Yeah, that's how like my second, how it went to there. And then you asked how I got to Ohio. So like we finished the sophomore year out and didn't play my sophomore year. Then we had like our exit meetings, and my coach said, well, what are you trying to do this year? I said, I want to start. I want to compete to start going into new season. Well, he said, yeah, I hear you, but you just got developed as a receiver. You know, we're bringing some guys in, and it's honestly like he was just basically saying that I wasn't gonna play. Then he said, I know you like it here and stuff like that, and like the situation that happened with like my teammates that passed away over there, so it was kind of hard like leaving them, you know, because of that situation. But he was like, do you want to play, or do you just want to like stay here and just like and get like money. Like, you know, like the big schools, you get the NIL money. It don't mean nothing if you're not playing and stuff like that. So I told him like I'll think about it. And I remember like I was gonna stay because I really didn't want to leave. And then I remember I had like laid down that night and it just like flipped me in my brain. Nah, you gotta go. So I had a meeting with him next day and told him like, yeah, coach, like I'm gonna think about entering the portal. You know, appreciate you for just keeping it real with me. Cause like if you didn't keep it real, like would just probably still been there
You'd be
not
stuck
playing.
there.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a good man right there.
Yeah. So hit the portal was slow for the first couple weeks. I had like talked to some other schools like Montana State. I talked to New Mexico State. And then, like, out of nowhere, Ohio had hit me on Twitter, my coach. And then and I already knew about Ohio because my dad played here. You know, got all the stuff around the house, jersey around the house and stuff like that. So I'm like, Ohio, like, no way, and stuff like that. And then so ended up communicating with the coaches. They said they want to get me out here on a visit. Got out here at first. I remember I was driving from Columbus to here. My coach picked me up. And at first I was like, nah, I don't think this is the move. Yeah,
I thought the airport was going to be 15 minutes.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm just thinking that, looking out the window, and I kind of like had my mind made up, like, nah, I'm not coming here. And so I do that, and then end up going here, meet the coaches, meet the staff, and that's where I ended up meeting Parker, who is a big person that helped me in my life with Christ. Yeah, and I meet him. I meet Coleman, Owen, and Trey Tyus, and so I get to chop it up with those guys. Spend, you know, the 2 days here, and it was like I fell in love with it. Like out of nowhere, it was weird because at first I hated it. I wanted to go, and then I automatically just like fell in love with it and stuff. So it came to the point where I knew like this is where like God is telling me where to go and stuff like that. So that's when I ended up committing, and like now I'm here. So yeah,
really glad you did. The people and the relationships was a difference maker.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It
is. You know, hearing you tell those stories, there's perspective changes, a bunch of perspective changes. I was going to ask you originally, but it's like kind of just ballooned in a bunch of different thoughts. I normally do that. I kind of get lost in my own thoughts. But when they first mentioned playing receiver to you, you probably thought,
yeah, nah,
it's not for me.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going for it for sure.
So, and you know, like you're a quarterback. You're like, I'm a quarterback, and that, from a perspective, it's like I'm a quarterback, I'm a receiver, and really nothing changed. From that time to the moment that you decided I'm a receiver, except the way you were perceiving the role. The opportunity. I thought I think there's some gold in that of just
for sure.
Had the talent to play both.
Yeah.
They wanted you to play one that you didn't want to play. Yeah. And the difference was just that internal motivation to say, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And there was more situations that you had of that too.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about on a much smaller scale.
Oh, I am.
Right. From like little kids who they're playing ball in their rec leagues or in the Sandlot League or travel ball or whatever, and they've always been a shortstop or they've always been they've always played in the infield, and they get to high school and all of a sudden they not only are they in high school with 4 other classes, but they also have just grown 6 inches. They're really fast. They're really athletic. And you approach this kid that's always played shortstop all his life. I've got one in my mind right now, and say, I did it with a freshman last year. I'm probably gonna do it with a freshman this year, and say, hey man, we need you in the outfield. Yeah. And they're not used to hearing, we need you in the outfield, because when you're a little kid, a lot of times it's the scrubs that get put in the outfield, right? And so that transition of I am an outfielder now is, it's almost like your sports identity. This is who I am now. It's a big deal to get there in your mind. Sometimes it's a long journey to get there in your mind.
It's a necessity, though.
It is a necessity. You have to.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the best you can be, and you're not going to be the best your team needs you to be if you don't make those kinds of decisions.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was you said you talked a lot about your coach and how your coach was really influential and approached it well with you, right? So like it's a powerful point for our podcast, because we try to draw those kinds of points out. So, as you think back through your experience in high school and in college so far, what are some things that great coaches have done that have made the biggest impact on you, your development, your approach? What are some things that maybe a good coach has done that has stuck out to you and it reminds you that that was a good coach? Like, how would you define that, a good coach?
Honestly, telling the truth, keeping it real. Like, from Virginia to, like, even here, all my coaches had, like, told me the truth, and you need the truth.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you don't get the truth, then you're not going to get what you can get out of it. And so, like, coming in, entering spring out here, entering spring this year, like, I was in a situation where I just wasn't my best, and I was possibly could have got cut if I didn't have, a good camp. And I didn't know that, honestly. I thought, like, I was doing good, but it was
you're locked in.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And I just told myself, I had fasted the next day because I was thinking, like, dang, like, do I go or do I stay? And God put on my heart to stay here and just work and really, really lock in and let him do it for me and stuff. So started camp as a 4, and last week I just got
string.
Yep, 4th string, and last week I just got, like, my first play on the field as a receiver. So it just, like, told me that you just got to keep going no matter what. Nothing's ever over until, like, my time's up. Like, I have another year after this year, so it's like, why not work? And you have to really, really lock in. You can't be out there playing around. You have to really, really lock in. So
that's powerful. Telling the truth, it's hard. A lot of times the truth is hard. It's hard to hear, and sometimes as a coach, it's hard to give too. Because I don't like hurting people's feelings. But if you've got some bad news, you got some news that it's not bad news to tell someone you got to work harder or you're not going to even make the team. That's good news. They don't hear it as good news, but it's like this is for your own good.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say that, and it's certainly hard to receive it as well.
Yeah, I'd even say I'd never really thought about this before, but at the collegiate level, and I guess the professional level too. I mean, you sit down with an individual that is working hard, is dedicated, and they're committed to getting better, in every aspect of that you can think of, and you still have to sit down and tell them you got to do better. That makes it rough. It's hard. You say truth is valued. I think that's a hard message to hear.
It
because
is.
You're giving everything you've got. It's like, how am I going to give more?
Yeah.
Figure it out.
You got
right?
it. Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, and it's one of the things that we've talked about a lot here on this podcast. When it comes to, and even when we've had athletes in, because we tend to have more college athletes come in on the podcast than high school athletes, and we talk more about high school sports typically. But one of the tough transitions for a high school athlete to collegiate athletics is everyone who comes to a school like Ohio University. Just a year ago, when you were in high school, you were the man.
Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
were the star, right? Everybody, and you never sat. You played every game. You got records in high school, and then you come here, or you go to Virginia, wherever it is, you go to college.
Cared.
Everybody was a star.
And everybody works hard.
Yeah, you can't put 152 people on the field, right? And so at the same time,
For sure.
and everybody works hard. Everybody's good, and it's sometimes it's disillusioning sometimes to get to a place where it can be just depressing sometimes. I think for people who aren't prepared to handle that. It's the same conversation we had. If you go back to when we had Parker Navarro on the first time a few years ago, he was in the same position that you're in. He was a 2, became a 3 because of injury, and was practicing every day like he was a starter. And that's. Yeah, I guess that's a good question to ask. Like, how do you keep, what do you do? What drives you to keep showing up and keep going? Because you go into the weekend knowing I'm not going to start. So what drives you to just keep getting better? Because you obviously have elevated yourself now to get an opportunity, right?
Honestly, the Lord, I wasn't thinking about this like a year ago. So, and also that when I had that talk with the coach, that happened like the day after I got baptized.
Is that right?
Yes, yeah. So honestly, the Lord, like, I just tried to think of it like He wrote my story, and everything that's happened in my life is how he wanted it to go. So honestly, I just try to keep that, and I talk to him when I'm on the field and stuff like that. But that is really like I can't really like worry about it, because it's like, one, he doesn't worry, and he is like his plan first. Like, it's his timing, and that's something I had to like figure out on my own. It's not in my timing; it's in his.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that.
And that's gold right there. It was March 1st, wasn't
We'll
it?
see you next week, everyone.
Yeah, that's, yeah. March 1st of this past year. Right? Was your baptism?
It was on Resurrection Sunday.
So, it was Easter Sunday. Yeah. So it was
awesome.
maybe in the week. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Appreciate
A couple of your teammates actually did the well, a lot of your teammates showed up, but didn't Parker and Coleman actually dunk you?
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
you
Is
helped
that
too,
right?
so-
I was in there. Oh yeah.
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, that's that's the biggest decision anybody will ever make. Like, what? Tell us what. I mean, you said you weren't thinking that way before, but all of a sudden now you are. Like, what led you to that?
Living with Parker and Coleman. Honestly, like, I see how they lived, and they lived true to the Lord's word and stuff. Like, they didn't go out. Like, all them boys did was just ball and God. Like, I hear them. I'll be in my room. I would just hear them outside talking about like Bible verses and stuff. And it was like every day. Yeah. And like just seeing like the success they had. Last year, we were just going to the MAC championship. I know it was God that did it for them, because it's like they really put in the work for God and put in the work on the field, and they got blessed, to do those things. Yeah. So, I would just say, like, and I remember at first when I got here, I was trying to live up by myself, and I know like Parker was like, like, we got a room. I was like, I'll let you know. But I was calling like everywhere to see if like I get a place by myself. And like everybody was like, no, they don't got nothing available. So it was like the best decision that I did. So just got the word for them, and I appreciate them for that. So yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's a common thread right now in a lot of our conversations over the past year, because the Lord is moving a lot in athletics. We've got more people coming to our football chapels than ever. Really, I mean, it's fantastic. I've had some great conversations with coaches.
What convinced you about Parker and Coleman to motivate you to get closer to God? What was it specifically? Was there? What there may not be one thing, but is there something you can say about them that they did as servants or as people? Just as people that brought you closer.
Just like the way like they would lead on and off the field, and like once I said, I just hear him talking about God every day, scriptures. Always inviting me to Bible studies, even though like I wouldn't come, but like they wouldn't like stop. They would say, "Hey, bro, like we got Bible study tonight if you want to come," yada yada. And then like I say in the crib, like I tell them I got stuff going on, and then I could come to them. And like, okay, they'll go about like, "Hey, let me share the scripture with you," and stuff like that. And I remember like one time, like it was a situation where it was at their practice, and like I just started crying because I was going through it, and the devil had me real bad. And I told Coleman, like, bro, I was crying to Coleman. I was like, bro, like I just feel like I can't hear God. Like I just didn't know what to do. And then he was just like telling me certain things, like, bro, God's one, like the devil's a liar, yada yada, and like just letting me know like I'm all right if you need me to talk and all that. And it was just like I said, like the way they lived, like they lived truly right. So I would say off of what I've seen with my eyes. So
you're getting to see behind the scenes. Like a lot, we see a lot of people in front of the camera say, "I give all glory to God." This quote scripture even, but you were living with these guys, and that impact of it's more than just when you're on camera. These guys really do live this. I tell people that all the time. The work that we're seeing Christ do in athletes, and here at Ohio, I know it's happening in a lot of other places as well. It's real. It is very much real. We had you and I've talked about a week ago last Thursday, we baptized 23 kids after football practice at Eastern High School.
That's nice.
14 of those were high school football players, and then another 9 came up from the junior high practice. And it was just where people have been sharing their testimony. You know, coaches sharing their testimony. Coach Jackson called me, you know, the one night earlier that week and said, and it's just, you know, it was very real and just innocent, you know, just very like, man, I just felt compelled to, at the end of practice, just to say there's something bigger and I just want to tell you guys, right? And he's like, I don't even know what pushed me to do it. I'm like, I do, the Holy Spirit, you know, sure. And he just said, I just want to know how many of you are believers, right? He's like, just everybody close your eyes right now, put your head down, close your eyes so, you know, no one's looking. But I'm just going to ask you to raise your hand if you follow Jesus and you've been baptized. And it's like, you know, like 13 of them out of 40 guys or so on the roster raised their hand. And then he said, you know, you guys have all heard me now. Keep your eyes closed. You've all heard me and what I told you about my walk with the Lord. And I'm telling you, you know, had a handful of guys here just raise their hand and say that they're with me. They're my brothers. Yeah. How many more of you guys that haven't been baptized would like to? And 14 hands went up. And then a few days later, those 14 guys were baptized.
That's nice. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And you know, I whenever I'm down there, talking with these guys, you know, there's something, you know, nobody's gonna be perfect. Yeah. But you can see the Lord is doing something different in kids and in young men and women, you know, on this campus. And you know, we don't have enough seats in our church on Sunday right now because of what's going on.
Yeah, it was pretty packed last Sunday.
Yeah. You better show up early.
Yes, sir.
You can have me as a guest speaker again if you want to weed out some of that. Might lose some people.
Well, every time I invite him to do something with me, he always says no. So I'm not worried about asking him to come. I asked him to be an assistant coach with me 4 times, I think. Was it 4 times? And he said no all 4 times.
I don't remember any.
And he waited until he had a head coaching opportunity and took that one. So. Yeah.
So you were baptized in April. Can you think of a time? And you know, I mean, you're building. And we talked earlier about you got an opportunity to be on the field last week. Can you think of a time when, since you've been baptized and made that commitment, that your faith has been tested?
Yeah. Oh, plenty of times. Like even before I got baptized, because it was on my mind that I needed to get baptized. Like when the year's starting, I know when New Year's hit, I told myself like I'm really like gonna try to live for the Lord this year. I want to switch things up, you know. So, and it's crazy how like
that was after what 3 or 4 months of living with Coleman and Parker and Trey was in that.
Yep, Trey was in there too. So this is January. We just get back from our little break for like winter break, and I get back. I worked out the first week, you know, everything was good, and then the weekend I'm getting extra work in, and I end up like messing my hip. I had like strained my hip, just like getting extra work in on my own, and like this is the hip I had surgery on. I never had a problem with it since I got surgery. So I'm like, why is this going on? So boom, that happens. I was out for like 2 weeks, I would say, and the very first day I come back, I passed out at practice. Yeah, so passed out at practice outside. They had stopped the whole practice. Parker said that he had after that happened, like they had prayed for me and stuff like that. But like got up, you know, I was cool. But I really took myself to that limit of like working out. Like I chose like to do that, and like I learned that like that I have like something in me that like that I won't go down like without a fight and stuff like that. But I ended up doing that, and they were like checking my blood pressures and stuff like that, and I guess it was like skyrocket high, a number that it shouldn't be at my age and stuff like that. So I ended up going to the doctor. I'm getting tests and stuff like that. I'm getting test results, and my blood came back like abnormal, and so I couldn't practice with these times. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't practice with these times. So I'm frustrated too, because the doctor had said like I had to be a certain number in order to practice, and I remember one day I didn't meet it, and I just like I got so mad. I went in the locker room by myself, like I'm just screaming. And there's no one in the locker room. I'm just screaming, and I got mad at God, and I should never did that, but you know, it happens, and I got mad at God, and I yelled in the locker room like, "Why is this happening to me?" And then like I do that, and I had like the worst day like after I did that. But I mean, it was a learning day, and so I come back. I meet with the doctor, and he's like, you may or may not have a tumor above your kidney. And so he tells me that, and I honestly didn't know how to like go about it. Like came back to the crib, Parker Coleman, and this is my new roommate that moved in, Colton. Came in there. Yeah. I came in there and I just started bawling my eyes out, crying, and they prayed for me and stuff like that. Just talking to me because like tumor, like that's big, you know. And I got this news Thursday. I go to church Sunday. Pastor Chris is like, you know, he's having his sermon, and then I'm like, it's one of those days where I'm just thinking about like the tumor. I'm in church and I'm kind of like zoning out of what he's talking about, and then all of a sudden, like I look up and then he starts talking about tumors in his sermon. Didn't tell him nothing about what was going on, and I got the chills when he do that. And I think that's probably the first time I felt the Holy Spirit like upon me, and like it was crazy. So I mentioned it to him about it. I was like, what made you think about saying that? And he said it was just like on my mind, and that's when I was like, I have to get baptized, you know, because it hit me like, even if I do or I don't have a tumor, I don't know when my time is ending, and I want to put my faith in the Lord now and really know how to live, because I don't know when my time's up, and I don't, you know, and I want to make it to the heaven gates and stuff like that. So, yeah, that ends up happening. Then I get like the little CT scan, and there is no tumor. There is no tumor in there. And then like I'm getting my blood tested still, and they're saying that it's coming back act normal. Then they're like, okay, well, we think you have a tumor like in your brain. And like at that point, I was at that point where like I wasn't even tripping. I'm like, okay, whatever. If I do have it, I do. But I kind of knew I didn't have it. But it wasn't. It was like a jump from like I wasn't worried about it no more.
Yeah.
I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah. And
then got that MRI on my brain, and there was no tumor on my brain. Thank the Lord. So yeah, I ended up doing that, and then after like that situation happened, that's when I had to talk with the coach. It was like more and more of this stuff happening. But it's like I just kept working head down. Like now looking forward, like I'm seeing like the success. Like I just got on the field for like the first time in my life. You know? It's like I know why. Like I've started to at least try to put my faith in the Lord. I'm in my Bible every day. I'm trying to see like how to really live, and like good things come out of it when you abide by His rules. So,
There's a lot of power in that statement you said. Even if I do, or even if I don't.
Yeah,
that's the freedom from the challenges and the temptations and turmoil that we face on this earth that God gives us. Because it's hard to grasp, and sometimes we say it aloof, like we just say it. But I mean, it's really a powerful thing that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Because the worst thing that can happen to us in this life is that we die. I was talking to, I hold workouts, baseball workouts, and I had some kids in there. I was talking to them about that yesterday because I got some guys that don't have a lot of confidence. I'm like, just try. Because what's going to happen? What's the worst thing that could happen to you? You die. Yeah, that kind of led into another conversation about God, but that's it.
That is the worst.
And then
in this
even
life,
if I do or if I don't, it doesn't matter.
As the Apostle Paul says.
Because
if I don't, then I'm going to live for Christ here, and whatever circumstance I'm given, if I do, then I'm with Him.
Yes,
I'm either living for Him here, or I'm standing with Him there.
Right. I got goosebumps when you told that story.
That is, man. That's good. That's good stuff. That's going to be on the TikTok, because that'll end up being a short clip.
Yeah, probably.
That's good. That's good.
That's awesome.
And you said something too in there. You yelled at God, got mad. Everybody in the room, raise your hand if you've ever done that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've got my own stories too.
Okay, yes, sir.
Of frustration, discouragement, doubt. Did I do the right thing or not? I don't know if you read the email I sent this week, right, about to our church. Yeah. It was a long. It might take you a few days to read it. Okay. It was basically telling the history of when April and I came here to plant this church that we're part of, and for a good 15 of those years, it was a lot of that, just doubt, question. Yeah. Sometimes just saying, God, I'm giving up this thing up. You're not doing it. So that's awesome.
Yes,
so this week, we don't want to talk about Ball State too much, but there was one play in that game that was pretty cool. Yeah. But it did get called back. Yeah. Let's talk about it though. Let's lighten it up just a little bit, and we'll get back to heavy here in a second. Okay. There's a play with your name on it.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Tell us what happened.
Oh yeah, so it was my certain play and my only play that I ran. on the game. So we had like kind of game planned it, and I had a good week of practice, so it was like good things happen. You know, you get rewarded when you're doing good things. So
Yep.
and I'm more of a speedy person. So
Yeah, we talked about that in the track.
yeah. So so I had a post play, and it was really it was kind of a back and back game. So
Yeah.
so I really honestly didn't know if we were gonna like run a play, but it was on the openers and stuff like that we were talking about. So we do that. Fourth quarter, I think it was 14-10, and like kind of nothing was working out. So they ended up calling me, and then so I get on the field, and I end up running like my route, and I just tried to like come back to the ball, you know, and they called it a catch. And I honestly knew I didn't catch the ball at first. So I knew that like it barely like touched the ground, but they called it a catch. So I was kind of like shocked. Like,
They didn't ask you.
yeah. Yeah, so I was kind of shocked. So boom, they give it a catch, I get a ball to the ref, and we're trying to get lined up like to run the next play, so it counts. And then they ended up blowing the whistle, and I was like, this play is under review. It took some time. They ended up calling it back and said the ball barely like touched the ground and stuff like that. So I really like, my coaches were telling me like good effort, but I was kind of like hurt because I wanna still make that play.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, it'd been huge for the team,
Yeah.
obviously, and huge for you.
yeah, for sure.
I was on the opposite side of the field, on the sideline. We were on the other side of the field at the time. Well, because that's where the play was. It was on our side of the 45,
Okay, yeah.
and then they hit you close to the goal line. When because I couldn't see the result. Like
Yeah.
I saw you like fighting through the defender to
Yeah,
get to the ball, so
yeah.
I thought they were going to call an offensive pass
Yeah,
interference
that's
on
what
you.
they're saying.
But then I see the ref down there doing this. And
Yeah.
I looked at Michael standing beside me. I'm like, he caught that.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I saw number 0 run out there. I'm like, oh, that's DC.
Yeah.
And this is I know what's going to happen right now. You know, 'cause you told me.
Yeah.
And 'cause I didn't think there was any way you were going to catch it because it was a little short.
Yeah.
And you fought through. And then by the time you went to the ground, there was all other people and players in front, and I just figured it was incomplete. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, it's complete.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that had to have been an amazing catch. I want to go back and watch film on it because I still didn't see it. I still in my mind can't see what it actually looked like.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah,
So,
that's cool. Well, this week was like, I think if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about how this week's gone so far. Like, because this is definitely relevant to our audience. That was a tough game.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have lost that game,
Yeah,
right?
for
And we
sure.
went into it knowing we shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
Coming off MAC championship season, going into this season, we Toledo and us, number one. Everybody's assuming going to get there again.
Yeah.
Took a bad loss.
Yeah.
What's practice been like this week? Like how is everybody handling it mentally and physically?
I say we handle it good. We have a rule called the 24-hour rule, and after 24 hours, it's over with.
Yep.
New week. We're gonna focus on NIU and really just focusing on running through the MAC. We just gotta win out. That's the goal. But we were pretty like bummed out about it because that wasn't a loss we are supposed to take. But, things happen. So I would just say like we just gotta just push forward and forget about that and just focus on like what's next to come.
Yeah. I figured that's probably the answer
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's tough for us in our venue because in 24 hours we're already playing another game.
In baseball,
We need to make
Play every day.
We need to make a 6-hour rule.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I do have a rule similar to that. It's the bus ride. If we're away,
Well, that's-
and if we're home, it's when you get home tonight, it's over, and that's whether you win or lose.
Yeah.
Because if we play in tomorrow,
Gotta forget about it. Yep.
then we got to focus on tomorrow. So we don't have as much time to
you really have to
think
flush
about
it.
it. You do.
You only want to lose those games once.
Right.
You don't want to
sure.
continue to lose
Exactly.
them throughout the night,
Yeah, that
the next
game-
day, and the next
That
week.
would
That's
like
a great
that
point.
would like mess you up for like your next game. Like,
Sure.
it'll be in your head in a battle like with thoughts in your head. So you just gotta let that go.
Man, it happens. The Browns beat the Packers. And we
Yeah.
don't even want to win.
How did they
right
handle
now.
that?
Yeah. We don't even want to win. The Browns don't even want to win. So,
They're not expecting to win. There's no expectation in that
I don't think they
organization.
want. I think they're.
Go to the
I think they're
playoffs,
working
right?
for that number one pick
every year.
They're, even in a situation like that, after the game, or after going out and having your opportunity to make that catch. Obviously, you want to make the catch, and you don't come up with it. What, as far as a coach goes, you said telling the truth is something that's important. But what are the things that good coaches do from your experience that make you feel valued on the team? I think that's important, especially in the role that you're in now, just for younger guys to hear younger guys and girls.
Yeah, just seeing like your coach like still coach you up even when you're not on the field, like even when you're not the top guy or not in the 1 or 2 spot. Like I had a situation last year, I was just on scout team, but my coach was still like coach me up, and like it's really the little things, still talking to you on and off the field, asking you how you're doing. Like just gotta have like that relationship with him. But I would say like just a coach like still making sure you're good, still like coaching you up even when you're not on the field is a big role that they can do for sure in college ball or in that whatever youth, little league and stuff. So
would you played you were in the ACC and now you're in the MAC.
Yep.
We were talking about the MAC, the league. What? How do these two, like, obviously people, Power 4 league, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that in your mind you've compared these two programs, Virginia and Ohio? Like, what are some of the differences that you've seen that, if you don't mind, anything that does anything stick out? Like, is there?
Honestly, like compared to like this football team and the team that I was on in Virginia, like the Ohio football team, like I never seen anybody like work. This group of guys work this hard. Like there is not like talking about anything, but like in our weight room, like here, like we get to it like quick, and like back at Virginia,
regimented.
We was able to dance in the weight room and stuff like that, But it's like just like you could tell like people are hungry and want to win, and like that's how I seen us win the MAC championship last year. So it's really like the people you have around you and how hungry they are, and if they're really taking it serious or really like giving effort like with everything, playbook, practice too. So I would say that would be like the different two differences. So
yeah. It's fascinating to me.
For sure.
Because it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are. It's how you go about your business.
For sure.
Got a lot of thoughts there.
Me too.
Well, not thoughts.
Well, some of the most powerful programs in high school baseball, really, really good, are the smallest schools in the state. I'm thinking Berlin Highland, right? It's not a private school.
And they're working all the time.
They go about things differently than anybody else. And they're solid.
Yeah.
They're solid.
I'd like a peek into all the programs in the nation, just a quick flash, just to see if that's,
the college programs like that?
Yeah,
because it's a little bit of a shocker, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Some of that might be catering to players a little bit too, and we're going to lose them.
Yeah, and I think cultures are different.
Yeah, cultures are different.
And I guess it depends on the collection of players that you have at the moment that you have it, and having that awareness of what's going to work the best for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, challenging. Everything that we talk about in here, I try to. I'm a coaches at Eastern. I coach at Meg's.
Okay.
So I try to. Everything you say, I'm using it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Trying to make me better.
Yeah, we go back. We take notes on our own podcast so that we can implement it.
For sure. For sure.
Teach somebody else. I am going to give this episode to some people though. This has been really good. Yeah.
Do you think? Make it a little bit more vague, so not to get anyone in trouble. But what do coaches do to help the culture in programs? Like what's the best thing that they can do from your perspective?
Just like I said, like keep players accountable, and it's really like the little things like cleaning up the locker room and stuff, checking in for breakfast, checking in for dinner, and all that stuff. Not being late to anything, like those little things like is gonna translate to the field, and I feel that we do a good job doing certain things. Like we had to check in to breakfast. We got to scan the code. We got to do that for dinner and stuff like that. We have to make sure our locker room's clean, all that stuff. So it's the little things that you wouldn't think translates on the field.
Let me ask you something. I've had a conversation with one of my buddies about this, and I think you are it's kind of in the middle, but I just want to get your opinion on something. Coach Deion Sanders.
Was he recruiting you?
Nah.
He wasn't there yet. Because you said Colorado came to watch you play.
Yeah, that was before he was there.
Okay.
Just before.
You would have been playing for him then.
Yeah, for sure.
So, no regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets.
He made the rule, no slides, no tank tops.
This is a good point. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yay or nay? Do you think that fits into the check-in, be on time, keep things clean? Or do you think it checks into the, be loose, be free, do you think, how would you feel?
Did you know that Deion has this kind of rule?
Nah, I didn't know that.
Like you can't wear Crocs.
Okay.
If you're a football player.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to see you walking around campus in Crocs.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I don't like those. I would say wouldn't matter. Like a rule that would have been that I know like we have in class would be like sitting in the front.
Yeah.
I feel like sitting in the front is more important than like
that is one in Ohio.
Yeah.
That's because it's applicable.
It is. It's applicable.
I agree. I didn't like it. I like Deion. I hope he starts winning because
I like Deion too. I just had a hard time with him saying like he sat with a hat on and sunglasses on in the press conference and said you're not going to wear a hat or wear sunglasses when I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you're wearing them right now.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I love the guy. I understand, but I don't.
And I don't
get that.
Like everyone's down on him now too, and they're asking, like they're mad because, they asked him about he just played. He's in the middle. They just played, and they're asking him about the Browns making Dylan Gabriel. And he's like, well, I don't care about the Browns. And now everyone's like, well, he don't care, and it's like,
oh my gosh.
So
it's not the team he's coaching.
Yeah.
But then, like, I guess last week he talked about Travis Hunter. But I hate when we put players and coaches in front of cameras, and ask them goofy questions. Because it's very hard to be consistent in that environment.
Yeah.
So, but I was just wondering about that. I wasn't a fan of that rule, but I'm on the week. Like I would say I'm a coach that old school coaches would say you're soft, you're too easy on the players, and it's something that I'm evaluating, saying how do I get better at this?
Yeah.
Lift.
But we talked about rules and standards last week.
We did. Yes, we did. Yeah, that's right.
So it's kind of fresh. That those thoughts are still fresh. Yeah,
I was wondering about that.
Sure.
Tell you what,
it's already 50.
I know,
unbelievable.
52 minutes. Yeah. So we ask a question to all of our guests that we ever have had on the podcast ever since the beginning of the podcast. And you are episode 199, I think. Is it 198 or 199?
I don't know.
We're going to have a special...
We are.
We have to bring all of our guests back in for episode number 200. I don't know if we can... We just couldn't do that.
Yes, sir.
Nathan... They all have jobs now.
It'd be a 16-hour episode.
Nathan Rourke, Curtis Rourke, Parker's been here twice. We've had during COVID we had a lot of guests because they were all on remote.
Okay,
and it was actually this was a benefit to our podcast because during COVID nobody had anything to do, and so everybody wanted to go on a podcast. So we were able to get some we got like a professional hitting coach, Kevin Wilson. We got Coach Deegan, he coaches baseball at Denison.
Okay.
National champion, Division III. I mean, they're solid program, good program. Sure. They'd come down here and compete. I mean, I love our Bobcats, and they're going to get a lot better under Coach C.
Yeah.
But that team would come down here and compete. They're good. Yeah. In the world of baseball, a lot of smaller schools can play.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you're not. You wouldn't put a D3 team up against OU in football, but you could do that in baseball.
Okay.
It's just different. It's a different sport. But anyway, well, the question that we always ask is, thinking back over your athletic career from the time you were 3 years old, whenever you first started playing ball or doing anything, all the way to now, what is one of, it doesn't have to be your favorite, like the most favorite, but what is one of the greatest memories that you have ever had as an athlete playing sports?
Yeah, I'll say when I threw the game-winning touchdown, I just remember like the whole like scenery before. It was like a back and forth game. It was one of those games where I was just carrying and stuff, and it was our homecoming game too.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I remember like we had an assembly before, and they had me talk like to the students. I was like, yeah, like everybody pop out, and I basically said like we're gonna go win,
And they hadn't won in a year.
We were 2-0 for the first time.
Okay,
like,
so they started to believe you now.
Yeah. We were 2-0, trying to go 3-0. Said going back and forth on the field, and we were down. I forgot how many seconds was left. It was barely any seconds, but it was like one of those, like, I think it was either first 2 plays, like nothing was working, and then like the very last play we had, you could see like everybody was kind of defeated, like on the sideline, because we had called a timeout, and like I remember like our defense had their head down on the sideline, like we lost. I'm like, man, y'all boys keep y'all head up, like better go win this game, and then. Boom, got out there.
Clock still got a little bit of time.
Yeah. Got out there, hiked the ball, rode out to the left, threw a bomb for touchdown. It was like that like moment, like I can't even describe it. Just the
You're
fans,
still seeing it.
yeah, the fans going crazy, the team running on the field and stuff like that. I remember like the night after, basically that I put my name on a map. And then I remember like the next Monday we had class, and like they got on the intercom and like announced it, and like everybody in the class started clapping for me and stuff like that. Cool. I was like, yeah, that was for sure a real good feeling to have, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was that a big school, or small school, mid-size?
Yeah, it was a huge school. Yeah, for sure, big school. Yeah.
In the state of Ohio, Division I would be if you probably have 1,500 or more in the whole school. Some schools have as many as 3,000.
And I guess it would depend a little bit on how many.
Actually, maybe 1,000.
How many live in the district?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know that last time.
How many divisions are in California high school?
A lot. I don't know.
We have 7 here.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Past that, I know.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I'm not sure how many exact, but for sure more than that. Yeah.
That's cool.
And you were Division I?
Yes.
Or division highest, the biggest school division?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been awesome having you.
Appreciate you guys for inviting me.
We will send you this link so you can make sure you send it to all your family members and teammates and friends. Our most listened to episodes are the ones where we have guests on because everybody wants to listen to them instead of us. That's usually the way it works.
Yeah, they're our best episodes for sure.
They really are, for more reasons than that. But they are. We learn so much from other people's experiences and. I mean, somebody's going to hear your testimony on this show today, and you never know. I mean, if they're going through it also and about to give up, you've gone through a lot. It's every time you stand up, you get knocked down again, and you just keep getting up.
For sure.
I love that about you.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I just met you, and I just know you're a winner.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
that.
Appreciate you.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell you
Maybe
what,
we have you back.
We cut in a little bit in the time that you and I were supposed to have with each other, and then you're gonna have to go get your check-in meal. And Pat's got meetings too, but you and I would normally pray together. So why don't we pray to end this podcast episode? That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Lord, thank you so much for Delaney. I thank you for his testimony. I thank you for his work ethic. I thank you for his patience. I thank you for his resilience. I thank you for the man that he is, the man that he's become. I thank you for his family, his upbringing, and just all the experiences that he has had, good or bad. We know that in all of those, Lord, you have been working good for your purpose not only in his life, but for your purpose in your kingdom, as you have used his testimony, perhaps even here today in this podcast episode, to lead somebody else to be curious about Jesus, perhaps, and to say, you know what? I've tried as well, and I'm getting knocked around, and this is an encouraging thing to hear, and I want to be like that. And I'm just really grateful that you brought him to us here, and that we've had a chance to record this episode with him. And I pray that you would bless him, just bless his faithfulness. You have been faithful to him, and I pray that he would continue to be faithful to you, and that you would bless him from here on out, Lord. Thank you for Pat. Thank you for this podcast that we have gotten to do together now for 199 episodes, and the way that you've blessed us. And we pray that you've been glorified in it, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.